In today's video, we're gonna create this decent Ghibli-style basketball in Blender EV. First of all, we're gonna create the model. There's nothing crazy about it. It has just a small trick, and I'm gonna cover in the tutorial. And after that, we're gonna go straight into the texturing part. So without any further delay, let's get it started and give it a shot. So first things first, press A and X to delete everything. So press Shift A. And from the mesh part, bring a round cube. If you don't have it, you should need to come to edit part and preferences. And on the add-ons, just search for extra mesh and just enable that. In that case, you will also have these extra meshes as well. So let's select the round cube and open up this panel, this small little panel, and change the radius to 1 and hit enter. So there you go, our model is ready. So press tab to go to edit mode and press 1 to see it from the front orthographic view. And from the top part side, you can toggle the X-ray mode or just hold Alt Z to toggle it on and off. And select the half left part of it and half bottom part of it and press X, delete the vertices, and press 7 to go to top orthographic view and select this part, X and vertices, and press tab to go to edit mode, and let's change it to solid view to take it back to the solid view. Okay, now we have just a quarter also of the model. So come to the modifiers tab and add a mirror modifier, search for mirror, and tick all of the axes, the X, Y, and Z, and also make sure to take the clipping option as well. Now we have the full model here. So press tab to go to edit mode and press 7 to see it from the top orthographic view. And here is the little tiny trick that I mentioned. So press K to choose the knife tool. We're gonna cut a slight edge from here. So make sure to cut it through that vertex. Click on that vertex and here. And at the end, somewhere around these two vertices, maybe somewhere like this. So when you're done, hit enter and press tab to go to object mode and hover your mouse on the mirror modifier and press Ctrl A to apply that. Now if you press tab to go to edit mode, you see that we have these, move these edges all around our shape. So press A to select everything. We want to make it a perfect and unique sphere, and hold down Ctrl Shift Alt S, Shift Alt S, and drag your mouse to the right part. And this is the short key to sphere option. And after you did that, you see that this menu open up to you, and you can just change the factor anywhere, any time you want. So we're gonna make it to the 1. Okay, so press 2 to go to the edge selection mode, and we're gonna select these, edge loops, these ones that we see in the basketballs all over the place. Okay, so and the other edge loop we have to select is the middle part one. So hold down Shift and Alt and select this, and also this one. So these would be our lines of the basketball. So when you selected these ones, press Ctrl B to bevel them and increase your middle mouse button just once to make it 2 times. And I'm gonna just bevel them up to this part. Maybe that's good. So press Ctrl minus on numpad to reduce your selection. To just we need that middle edges just selected. So press Alt S and hold Shift to scale them slightly in their normals, and maybe up to there would be a good result. That's okay. So press Ctrl B and bevel them again for more time, but this time I'm gonna reduce the bevel amount to 1, and that's perfectly done for me. Okay, so press tab to go to edit mode, and there you go. So press tab to go to edit mode again before we do anything. Now we are selected these middle lines of the shape. So it's better to somehow save the selection to use them after all. So when we want to add the texture, the materials, it would be so convenient for us to select. In that case, we have to add some, vertex groups. Come to the data part, and in the vertex groups, just with these ones selected, click on this plus button here and click on assign. And in that case, it will assign this vertex group to your, selected vertices. And now I selected out of the object, and nothing is selected now. And if I click on select, you see that it can select all of my selected parts, all of them at once. I'm gonna double click on that and call it lines. So there we go. So press Ctrl 2 to add a modifier, the subdivision modifier of level 2. Right click, shade smooth, and look at this. That's brilliant. Okay, so let's add lights, just simple lights, and let's go to the viewport shading. It's gonna crash. I hope it's not going to crash my Blender. Let's wait for it, please. Okay, so press Shift A and bring a light, and this time I'm gonna add maybe an area light. Bring it higher and rotate. Oops. Okay, bring it higher and rotate that a little bit, and maybe we can scale that as well, and change the shape from sphere to disk. It will change its shape to a circle, and right click, adjust light power, and drag your mouse to the right part to adjust it to make it stronger, or to the left to make it weaker. So you have to just find the best options for your light. I'm just gonna do it as fast as possible because it's a tutorial. So let's duplicate that and bring this to the left part as well. So it would be maybe our lighting system. I'm gonna save our project in the case of not crashing. So let's just drag this view into two parts, separate them into two parts, and change it to render preview. And this one should be our shader editor part. Okay, so with the ball selected, click on new, and I'm gonna call it ball. And the magic goes on here. So we're gonna add the Ghibli-Style texture. So press Shift A and search for RGB, and it will come to the shader to RGB, and connect the principal BSDF to the material output, the shader RGB, and we'll need a color ramp as well. So press Shift A and why it's not okay. Where did it go? Okay, I don't know what's wrong with my PC today. Okay, so press Shift A and bring a color ramp and bring it in between the shader to RGB and material output, and this would determine the colors of the shape. So click on this linear and change it to constant, and let's change it to something like this, and look at the effect that it's making. We're gonna add several colors to that to maintain the color of the ball. So first of all, I'm gonna just give it a slight the pale orangish color like this, and the other one you can hold Control and click anywhere to add a color for your object. And I'm gonna choose maybe this color for the next color, and the next one should be a little bit more orangier like this, and this one shouldn't be that dark. I'm gonna just take it a color like that, and we can control the amount just like that, and there you go. Then maybe this one also need to be changed to a more orangish color, something like this, and a little bit lighter, just like that. You should work on with the colors. I'm just gonna take more time on that. So let's add some kind of textures. Go a little bit further, press Shift A and add a noise texture, and after that add a bump texture. Search for bump and plug the factor of the noise texture to height of the bump and the normal to the normal and wait for the effect to be done, and there you go. So let's increase the scale, maybe up to 151, 2, and bring the detail up to 15. I think that's pretty good, but this strength and distance are a lot. We don't want that much of a strength, so I'm gonna reduce it to a low amount, 2 of them. It should be so, you know, subtle, not that strong, and I think that's pretty good. So we can also scale it a little bit even more, and there we go. So press tab to go to edit mode, and we're gonna select these middle parts to add another texture. So all we need to do is to just come to the data part and select the line vertex group, and come to the material part and click on this plus button here to add a new material, and I'm gonna click on new, and I'm gonna call it lines. So it would be the white lines inside the overall of our shape, and click on assign, and in that case it will assign this color, this material to our shape. Look at the effect. Okay, so the next thing and the last thing to do is to just create the outlines that you see in the Ghibli style animes. So before doing that, let's add another material. This would be a black material. I'm going to call it outline, and let's change the surface from principal BSDF to the emission. It's so important. And let's change the color from white to black. You can go on with any color you want. I'm just prefer going with black. And come to the modifiers tab. Let's add a solidify modifier, and before that, let's come back to the material and make sure that the outline is selected. Come all the way down and make sure to check the camera and shadow on the back face calling part, because it's so important. In that case it won't work. So come back to the modifiers, and this time in the solidify modifier, find the materials, and the first option, that's material offset, it's on 0. It means that it's taking the first material here, the ball material. We're gonna use the third material, so you have to change it to 1, 2. 2 means the third material, and in that case it will use our third material, which is the outline, and which is the black and emission. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is to go to the normals and click on flip, and in that case the magic will appear. There you go. Look at this effect that it gives to our project. I love it. So you can work on with the colors even a little bit more to make a good looking effect, because I don't like the colors here a lot. You see, maybe we can change this one to a more orangish color like this, and this one also. Let's hover our mouse on the color and click on Ctrl C to copy the color, and click on this and hover your mouse on that, press Ctrl V to take the exact color, and we can just take it down the value part to make it, you know, darker a little bit, and make it a little bit more, you know, orangish. And there we go. So the tutorial is done here. I hope you learned a lot. And if you're not subscribing to the channel, just click on that subscribe button to, in the case of not missing any new videos. And also try to stay tuned. I have exams these days, so I can't be, you know, full-time YouTuber, but I try my best to upload videos frequently. So I'm doing my best. You do your best as well. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.